Okay, I think this is working. This is totally new from the last time I went live on YouTube, which has been a while and on a different channel. I'm just gonna see. Oh, is that how I do the chat? You all are just gonna have to forgive me for a minute while I see. I think I'm supposed to look at the chat in YouTube. This is really weird. So let's just see. Oh, I am here. Sweet. Okay. So I'm just going to babble at you guys for a little bit. I think I'll be able to see the chat when it pops up, though I am not entirely sure where I'm supposed to be looking for it at. And I'm actually not, like, legitimately not expecting anybody to come on right now. This was totally spontaneous. And mostly I'm going live because I do not want to have to record and then upload. And I'm super excited and I couldn't wait to film again. So, which is something. So yeah, if you're actually like watching live, that's super awesome. Hello, please say hello. I actually I was really excited because I took the plunge on YouTube like yesterday. Today's Monday. Yesterday, and I expected nothing. I just really wanted to say some things, and also I have been wanting to start a channel for a bit, and I just realized I really just wanted to jump in and like, I don't know, rip the band-aid off or whatever. And I had some momentum going. But what I didn't expect was for everybody to be so awesome. And I got comments on my first couple of videos and like some likes and some subscribers. And I was like, what? So less than 24 hours and I've got like 40 people or something subscribed. And that probably sounds it sounds probably super silly to be so excited. I was like, there's 40 whole people that were not completely turned off by me on YouTube. So this is pretty awesome. And what I realized is I hadn't talked a lot about who I am. And I mean, I talked a little bit about me. Oh, hi. Oh, there's where the chat is. Hi, Shuffle Tarot. I'm just excited anybody's here because this, again, super spontaneous and I have like 40 subscribers. So it's really exciting that I have even one of you here. So I think I figured out where I need to be for chat. So that's cool. It's not showing up in the Google Hangouts side. Anyway, I kind of assumed that what was going to happen was that most of this was going to be watched on replay, but I just thought I'd, talk. Hi, by the way, I'm Lisa, Supportive Tarot. The one thing I like about lives, I've done lives before on my yoga channel, but my yoga channel is kind of inactive. I'm playing around with it. I might do more now that I'm getting my feet wet over here with different kinds of live. But with the yoga, I have to kind of set up and have space and have a mat and all that stuff. But one thing I liked about doing lives there was that I had the ability to just kind of, like I said, get out of my own way. I mentioned that before, but it's really easy when I'm filming to be overcritical. And I do a lot of work in my own personal life to not be overcritical, to live in a very authentic, completely myself, open book sort of way, because topics about self-worth and body positivity and body image, these are all things that are really important to me. So I really try to walk the talk because I do work with a lot of people on those specific subjects. So it's really important to me to live super authentically, and that includes here on YouTube. So I was kind of watching my YouTube feed earlier. Thanks, Shuffle Tarot. I'm probably way behind on comments, but thank you. I was watching some videos, getting caught up, and I was finally getting a chance to watch Simon and Shane's authenticity tag from, I think, a week ago or so. And I just realized I hadn't really talked about me. I talked about my tarot journey, but you all don't know a lot about me yet. And I thought I'd just talk about some of that, maybe some chat on authenticity, and maybe play around with some other stuff, tell you a little bit about what I'm thinking for the channel, the ideas that I've got and so forth. So right now, I guess I'll start with telling you more about me. So I am living in Canada, and that's a notable thing in my life because I was actually born in the States, and I am married to a woman. I self-identified queer femme, which means a whole lot, and I can get into it maybe in another video if people are into that sort of talk. But mostly I just want you to know, because you're probably going to be hearing about my wife here or there, or you'll be hearing about our kids, or they're all grown now. We call them man kids. I want to be able to just talk freely in whatever way that it comes up on this channel without worrying that, oh, I left something out, or it's weird, or stumbling around words. So yeah, definitely want those things out on the table. I'm pagan identified. I've been pagan for decades now, and that my spirituality sort of ebbs and flows quite a bit. So sometimes I lean very subtle. I don't know how else to say that, but I lean very subtle with my spiritual practice. And sometimes I lean very active and engaged, but it's always highly personal. I have been a member of a coven in the past. I have circled in large community groups, but I've also had a solitary practice. And where I'm at now in my life with spirituality is it's very loose and fluid. There's a lot of influence from yoga in my life and in my practice and in the way that I engage with the world. So that's got a huge influence. And speaking of yoga, I am a yoga teacher. My other entity out in the internet and in the public eye is the Fat Yogini. So you can learn more about that if you want to look over there. But I want this space to be primarily about my actual, I don't know how to say this, but my real personal, my more personal side. And I want to not be on here. So I think it was really important to me actually to come on tonight, even though I didn't have time to. I love doing makeup, by the way, side note, but I didn't have time to do makeup. And I'm like, oh, I really want to get on and like be all excited about having 40 whole subscribers. But I'm like, I haven't done my makeup. And then I realized I was being silly and wanted to come on anyways. So that's what I'm doing. But that is a little bit about me. I am really excited about content I want to put out here, and I have a bunch of ideas. But among them, I had an idea today, and I think I'm probably going to run with this. Something a little bit personal, but in my head, it's called tarot memoirs. So I think I'm going to roll that out starting maybe this weekend. And what I plan to do is go through the major arcana and the minor arcana, like very, very slowly, probably one card, possibly one card a week. And for each card, as I move through, I want to share a personal experience that I associate with that card or with that archetype or with that stage of life. So starting with the Fool and moving through. And I don't know yet if I'm going to be jumping around major arcana to minor arcana, depending on what I want to share, or if I'm just going to like go in order. I'm a little bit type A about order, so I probably will go in order, but there's a chance I won't. So I'm trying to keep this channel very light and real and not overthink it too much, which is where I can trip myself up, thus the live. So I'm really excited if you're watching this live or on replay, because it doesn't matter. It's just, I'm just excited to be doing it. So yeah, tarot memoirs is one of the ideas that I'd like to run with. I also rotate through my tarot collection, and as somebody who enjoys having a lot of decks, and I know my collection isn't insane compared to some of the stuff that's out there, I've got about less than 50 tarot, less than 50 oracle, 3 or 4 Lenormand decks, Lenormand technically. But what I do to make sure that I enjoy my full collection is I rotate my decks weekly. So what I might do is do also a video where I share with you what decks I've been working with that week and sort of the pieces that I've learned about those decks, or the relationship as I'm building it, and kind of share that. So sort of like a weekly review, and then maybe a wrap up at the end of the month. I don't know, just playing around. What else am I thinking about? Dust collectors, so decks that I sort of don't reach for and that I'm not quite ready to get rid of, but definitely that I'm hanging on to, but that are not first on my list, and maybe why or what I think is holding me back. That sort of stuff. Love talking about that. I'm really excited though, mostly to do a bunch of tarot tags. Not gonna lie. Somebody needs to make some more tarot tags, pretty please. I actually was watching Katie Flowers, I'm gonna look at it on my phone, but Katie Flowers did the watching Tarot Tube tag. So I was looking at the questions and I'm like, but it's written as if I've been a content creator for, or whoever is answering it has been a content creator for a bit. So I'm looking at that. I might do a video on that, even though I'm brand spanking new. I have so much in my head. And I'm just really excited. Mostly I'm just really excited that I just started doing this and people have been so nice to me. And this was actually really scary. It's different when I'm in my sort of yoga teacher space. I don't know how else to say it, but when I'm in my teacher space or my coach space, or even when I'm reading tarot for clients, it's a different energy. It's and I would say mostly with teaching and with public speaking, because I do a fair amount of that as I get the opportunity to as well. It's different because I'm trying to convey a very particular idea. It's much less about the face that I'm showing and more about making sure that the people in front of me have a particular experience. So it's very thoughtful. And I want to be thoughtful here too, but I also want to be real. And it's not that I'm not real in my other capacity, but it's just that I don't want to overthink. I'm going to repeat that a little bit, but I don't want to overanalyze, overthink, and make this something that's not fun. So it's really important to me to connect with people in an authentic way, share content in an authentic way, be myself. That means makeup or no makeup. That means y'all can see my, well, maybe you can't. I am a great big child. This is my Care Bear. It was a Build-A-Bear. Everything about me is like on the table, because that's how I move through the world regularly. So I just want to be that here too, and not hold myself back because I'm worried that people are going to be weirded out or that it's not going to jive. And so if you like the kind of content that I put out, then I hope you stick around. And if you don't, it's no hard feelings. It's not something I'm going to let myself get worked up about. I'm just really excited to be in here and talking to all of you. So I had made a note, I think somewhere, about something else I wanted to tell you all. Let's see. I told you I'm married. I have two adult now stepsons. They're my wife's kids, and we got married when they were 12 and 13. So they're a big part of my life. One of them actually lives at home now, and the other one lives elsewhere, but still in the general area. We see him regularly. What else? I've got two little dogs. I think you saw them both in my last video, the one I did on my tarot story. I'm glad you're sticking around, Shovel Tarot. That's awesome. So my dogs are also part of my family. They'll be flouncing around in and out of here, I'm sure, when I'm doing videos. I'm sure at some point you'll meet Peggy. She is personality, and she's an extrovert. I am definitely not an extrovert, and I don't know if people will believe that because I talk a lot. But I really, really am an introvert, I swear. And I think that's what's so appealing about YouTube in a way, is that I feel like I can get to know you all. And I feel like I can build community with you all and do that. I'm literally sitting in my bedroom right now. Like, I think that's amazing. And I've participated in some lives, especially recently. As soon as I put my first content out there, I was bouncing around in everybody's videos and everybody's live chats. And I was like, this is so cool. And I didn't realize, I think, how much I'd been holding myself back until I put my first video out there. So with that said, I'm going to I have a goal in mind. And again, I'm trying not to be too overly structured, but I'd like to do a couple videos a week at least. I would love to go live semi-regularly. I think that's really fun. I just want to do whatever feels good in the moment, and just see how it goes. But mostly I think I want to do new things, and I want to shake things up a little, not in a freak people out way, but in a really keeping things real sort of way. And so because I'm super passionate about topics around self-worth and taking up space in the world, you'll probably see those topics like infused into this channel as well. It's been a really long road for me to get where I am personally with self-worth and with body image and all of that stuff. And so it's a really huge part of my life. And I think it would be hard for me to parse that out. So you're probably going to see a lot of that sort of content here too. A lot around self-care, a lot around boundaries and healthy relationships. And that all is a huge part of me and is a huge part actually of what I use tarot for. The way that I use tarot in my personal life is very wrapped around knowing myself and taking the time to take personal responsibility for where I'm at in my life, for my past and how it affects my automatic behavior, for how I engage in my relationships. And so I do a lot of journaling. I do a lot of tarot for myself to keep myself very healthy. So those are huge pieces of me. And I feel like that's going to come out more and more as I make content for this channel. So I suspect that it's going to be pretty personal pretty quick. And that's one of the reasons why I think I like the idea of doing tarot memoirs, of sharing my Fool experiences and my High Priestess experiences and so forth, because the reason the tarot resonates so well with so many of us is because these are relatable archetypes. These are relatable experiences. These are things that we face every single day or week, the big things and the small things. We run up against these all of the time. And I think the way that I view tarot as a supportive tool, it's important to me to sort of share what I think that looks like what lessons I've taken away from the tarot, what lessons I've embodied in my life, but also when I feel like it's also important to talk about not always being, I want to say this right. It's not perfection. That's not the word I'm going for. It's more like vulnerability. And I talked about that a little bit in a previous video as well, but I think vulnerability is really important. I think it's really relatable. I think it's good in our social media to see some of that reality, some of that struggle, and to see it especially with people we see as not leaders, also not the right word, but definitely maybe influencers or maybe people whose voices have an impact on our lives. I think seeing those people share vulnerability is powerful. And that's something I learned as a yoga teacher in the very early days. When I was originally starting to teach, I was teaching as a person in a larger body and specifically, like, for example, specifically wearing clothing that showed like my belly bumps and stuff. And I did that because I needed my students to see me not to see me inhabiting my body and doing it without shame and being vulnerable. And so if I said left instead of right in a yoga class, I would laugh it off. But I would also address it and say, oh, didn't mean to say that. But I think sometimes we hold ourselves to too high of a standard. And that can be, I see that a lot in other YouTube communities where I see content creators become, at least what appears to me, to become less and less themselves as they create content, particularly maybe because an image, they start to embody a particular image, they start to embody a particular personality type, and that is popular or it gets popular. And suddenly it becomes this box or this trap that they're stuck in. I am like an actual goofball. I am an actual squirrel. I am easily distracted. I have toys in my bedroom. I'm over 40 years old. I love Hello Kitty. I I love cute things. I have squishies above my altar, which I'll probably show at some point. I clap my hands and legitimately bounce up and down when I get excited. These are things about me that are a huge part of who I am. And I want to be all of that here. I don't want to suddenly find myself looking back on video content a year from now and going, who is that? And I think we need more of that. I think we need more of the letting loose, more of the being authentically ourselves, taking up space exactly as we are in this community and then in our day-to-day worlds. And I am so on a tangent, but you'll get used to this too, hopefully. I could easily babble all day, all night, rather. And I legitimately have to go to bed soon. But I thought I would actually pull out, this is the Oracle deck that I'm working with this week. Let's see if I can get a preview that will make sure I actually put this on the camera properly. Let's see. There we go. Oh, it's actually on the left. Oh, Hangouts is cool. Okay. So when I'm actually filming my videos, everything is opposite. So if I hold something over here in my preview, it shows up over here. So it's messing with my head a little bit. But for the live, I can hold it on this side. So this is the Self-Love Oracle by Janet Chui. I'm not going to say that right, I don't think. Chui. This is a really, really pretty deck. I had to order this because self-love and self-worth are huge, as I mentioned, huge topics for me. And so, but it is so pretty. It blew me away. It's watercolor art. The artist, you can order this right from the artist's website, which is what I did. And she is also on Instagram. I think you can just, if you pop Janet Chui, Chui, into the Instagram search, you'll find her account right away. And she posts pictures of her artwork. It's really, really beautiful. But she did this deck. I'm pretty sure it's just independently published. The little guidebook is actually really cute and has good little messages. But one of the things that I like about her deck, and one of my, I'm going to do a video, I think, later about altar decks or decks I use for polls, like daily polls that I just sit on my altar for the day, or my sort of card altar space. But I thought maybe I would close out tonight's live chat by pulling a card for all of us, just because that's fun and I like it. So I'm just going to see, I see there's a couple people in here. Okay, cool. So whether you're watching live or you are watching on replay, which is what I assume most people are going to do, I just wanted to pull a card, partly just sort of set a tone, but also the main reason I'm here today is just to say thanks. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking a chance on somebody brand new. I feel very lucky to have had such a warm welcome. I think putting yourself out there in public on YouTube is a little scary, a lot scary, super scary, really scary. And it's different when I was doing it for my yoga channel, because I had people already that, I had students already, I had people that I connected with regularly already. It felt like something that I already had a sort of, not a guarantee, but I knew there would be people nice to me. And I mean, I knew you guys were all really nice, but at the same time, I haven't really gotten a chance to get to know very many of you. And again, I was staying on the sidelines. I was being very quiet. And so for me to jump in like this and get such a warm reception, it really means a lot. And I just wanted to say thank you, because it made my day today just to see people subscribing and commenting. And it was just really nice. And I really like to habitually shuffle, and I have no idea if this noise is super annoying, but I'm not done yet. Oh my god, I threw a card. I threw several cards. Hold on. Let's see what our jumper was, just out of curiosity. I had an experience with the jumper earlier today. I posted about, I'll have to tell you guys about that. So, here we go. Our jumper is Find Balance. And I don't know if on the live this is going to be able to be read. I don't know if it's going to put the text backwards, but it says everything in moderation, including moderation. Swinging from one extreme to another can put one out of balance. Find your peace within. And I love, 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 love. I know it's glossy, but oh, look at that. Her artwork is so pretty. And all of the cards are like this. They're really, really nurturing. This is not, I don't think, the one that we're pulling. I'm going to still count it because it's beautiful, but I want to pull one in a conscious, active way. So I'm going to do that next. Oh, there's another person here. Hello, Red Moon. Sorry, that was really ridiculous. I got so excited. Holy cow. Literally, I can't help it. I get so excited. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle now. Calm myself down a little bit. Calm down, Lisa. Calm down. Did I even say my name before this? Yes, I did. Okay. You know I'm Lisa. I'm Lisa with Supportive Tarot. I don't know if you can hear this. Hold on. I'm going to be really quiet. There's a thumping. The thumping is my dog who is laying at the door, thumping her tail in protest because it's closed. That's what's happening right now. All right. So I want to pull a card just for tonight. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to turn this thing off. You guys are amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to make more videos. Can't wait. So, yeah, I need to focus. Focus, Lisa. I can kind of rifle shuffle this one, but it's a little bit loud. Hold on. Oh, no, that actually worked really beautifully. I'm going to do that again. This one has silver gilding on the side. I'm going to show it to you in a second. Pretty. So I've been pulling cards since, I think, about Friday. I usually rotate my decks either Friday or Sunday. This one is just really lovely and nurturing. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Sometimes you get a deck, whether it's an oracle deck or a tarot deck, and like there's a couple of cards that you're like, I don't know about that one. But most of my decks, I love all the cards. This one is my jam. And we had a little bit of an adventure waiting for it to come in, and poor Janet, the artist who sold it on her website to me, was very patient in providing me tracking information. It felt like it stuck somewhere forever, and I got so impatient, and I probably emailed her like half a dozen times. I was super annoying. But it did eventually arrive, and I was so, so grateful. All right. So let's see what we have. This is hilarious. Okay. I'm going to show you this card, but there's a story about this card. Okay. This is so funny. The tarot is so funny. Oracles are so funny. Like, I can't even with the synchronicity. Okay. So this card is called Move Quickly. The writing is up there. It's a little bit cursive-y, so it might not show up on camera very well. Move quickly. And the text says, some opportunities require quick responses. Use your instincts and don't be afraid to move fast on your hunches. I'm so glad this is live because legitimately, Sunday morning, I had not decided to post to YouTube yesterday at all. But Sunday morning, I pulled this card as my card of the day. And when that card came up, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I put it on my altar like I usually do. And then what I do typically is I move through my day. And then at the end of the day, I'll pick up that same card and I'll look at it and I'll kind of think about my day, see how it applied or if it applied. Just integrate, I suppose, the message. And I literally laughed out loud Sunday night when I sat down and remembered when I picked this up. It was the same card. That's the punchline, by the way. It was the same card. Sunday night when I picked it up and reviewed it and read this message about moving quickly, it literally made me laugh out loud because the moment that I decided to make videos, I literally made them yesterday. Like I sat down, I was like, I'm just going to do this. And I had to try, I actually tried Saturday night a couple of times. So I know I'm all over the place, but I tried a couple of times Saturday night to film and I kept having issues. Like I filmed an entire video, realized as I went to look at the file that I'd never hit the record button. And I was like, are you kidding me? I could have swore I hit record. And then I totally just bumped my camera. And then I tried right after. Everything was still fresh in my mind. I did this video about my most playful decks. And by the end of that video, I had everything on mute for myself so that I wasn't listening to the sound. And I went to my video editor to clip the little beginning portion where I had just been sitting there with the, smile on my face. I wanted to clip a little bit in the beginning and clip a little bit in the end. So I did that and went to go upload it to YouTube and hit play real quick because I was like, well, I guess I should make sure the volume is good. Hit play really quick and realized there was no sound, none at all. Somehow I had recorded in a way where there was no sound. So that was take 2. And at this point I was like, really? Seriously? So I just went to bed. And I was kind of anxious at that point because the video that I was like starting out with was the kind of video I would expect someone to put on YouTube. And I knew, I think instinctively, a part of me knew that I was layering or that I was creating this image of what it was supposed to look like, and that's what I was going to put out into YouTube. So when I woke up on Sunday and I pulled this card, I didn't think much of it. But then it was like an hour or so later, I was still struggling with technical issues. Like I had a program I was trying to use that I've used for yoga videos in the past, and my video and my sound weren't syncing up, and it was just a problem. And I was like, what am I even doing right now? And I had this moment of like, oh, bye, Shuffle Tarot. I had this moment of like, why am I doing this exactly? And that was when I decided what my first video really needed to be, and it was more a little more raw and a little bit less planned. And that turned out to be a really, really nice, nice is not the word I want, turned out to be a very powerful experience for myself personally. And I'm so glad that that's what I did, because it felt like me. It didn't feel like I was trying to embody or emulate anybody else on YouTube. Like it felt like I was just me. And that really set the tone, because I kind of made myself upload that one right away. I made it, I uploaded it immediately, and I hit publish as soon as it was publishable, and I had a little picture to put on. So it all happened very fast. And I did that so that I wouldn't lose my nerve. I was like, you know what? I need to just go with this. This is my gut. I need to do this particular video. And then when I was going to bed and I pulled this card and looked at it again, and it talks about moving quickly, and sometimes you need to give a quick response, and don't be afraid to move fast on your hunches. Hi, Bunny Kisses. Aw, thank you. Welcome. But yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I did the right thing. It was such a gratifying, like, validating experience. I was like, yeah, I did move quickly. I did listen to my gut. I did listen to my heart. And I had this amazing experience as a result. And within an hour, I had people commenting on my video and subscribing. And I didn't expect that in a million years. I literally thought I was going to be putting out content into nothingness for at least months. So just, you should have seen me, you guys, when I got my first 2 or 3 subscribers. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Are you actually kidding me? But I did. I had subscribers and people that seemed to legitimately understand that what I wanted to do was be authentic here on YouTube. So I'm totally going to throw the authenticity tag on this live chat, because why not? That was, so it's really cool. So sorry, full circle now. That's why it's so cool that I pulled just now this same move quickly card, because I had the same kind of moment tonight. Oh, you guys want to know what's in the background? Those are my tarot cards. That's my tarot cards. I'm going to interrupt myself. I'm such a squirrel. You guys are going to get so used to this, though. It's super normal for me. So the 2 racks you see there are most of my main tarot decks. Up top, I have a couple of double deck bags. All my bags are made by my wife, Peggy. She has a Etsy store, and she makes tarot bags. It started for me. I took her first like 100-ish bags, and now she can actually sell them when I don't steal them. So every time I have a new deck, I dig through her stash and steal some. I have her very first bag she ever made, and then they've gotten very consistent since then. But yeah, so most of my tarot decks. And then on the other wall, you can kind of see, I don't know how to move my finger so it looks obvious, but you can kind of see those are my oracle decks. Those are my oracle decks hanging on the other rack. This is actually, I tried to point with my mouse. You guys totally can't see my mouse. The racks themselves are a really inexpensive wall hanging thing from IKEA. And there's these little plastic hooks that you can get. There's like 5 for 99 cents. It's really inexpensive. And that's what I hang my stuff on, although I'm now 2 to a hook in a few spots. So I might need another bar. Fresh content. That's what I'm all about. I'm just gonna be myself. We're gonna see how it goes. You made so many bags and then converted to making boxes and have been giving away my bags. No, oh, are you the one that makes those beautiful boxes, Bunny Kisses? I'm so sorry. I have the memory of like somebody with Alzheimer's, for reals. That was probably really inappropriate to say, but I have a really bad memory. Are you the one that makes the beautiful converted boxes? I have been eyeing those the whole time I've been in the For Love of Cards group, the whole time. They're beautiful. The main reason I have my decks in bags. Yes, you are? Christine Waters. Oh, that's awesome. Your boxes are stunning. They're absolutely stunning. I love them. I love them. I do not have the patience to make boxes. I don't have the patience. But I like being able to hang my decks on the wall like that. And my wife Peggy's bags are roomy enough that anything that's in, I'll probably do a tour of my decks and their bags because I've picked out materials and fabrics from what she's made that like match the theme of the deck in some way to me. So each bag is unique and each bag holds like the largest deck, or it holds it inside of its box. If it's like a box, yeah, like for example, I'll show you this one just because I'm so proud of what she does. She just started sewing like last year and her stuff is beautiful. But so this one I picked out to match, where's the lid? There it is. So I picked out this deck to match this box or this deck. So I keep the deck in the box and then I put the box in the bag. And then it hangs back there with my Oracle decks. Yeah. Didn't lie flat, they would warp. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of mine, I shouldn't say most, a lot of my decks are in boxes and then in bags, so they hold their shape really well. But the ones that are not in boxes already are either well-loved decks that I already manhandle a fair amount. So I don't mind if they get a little bit twisted or, yeah, fun to have matching bags. Yeah, well, it helps that I have a source ready to make them according to my like every whim, which is pretty amazing. I did totally interrupt myself too. This live chat is pretty amazing. It's like such squirrel opportunity. Yeah. Oh my God, such squirrel opportunity. I love it. This is so much fun. This is not going to be as probably fun to watch on replay with all of the tangent toning. But anyway, the full circle, I guess. Oh, that's what I was getting to. Yeah, the fact that, oh, I think I said that already, that I got to draw that same card. That was pretty neat. That moving quickly card. I'm just really stoked. I'm just really stoked. So I'm probably going to I've got a whole bunch of ideas. So tarot memoirs, going through the cards and actually sharing personal anecdotes of times in my life that I feel like those cards energies have been really present, and making it kind of real and tangible. I think that would be kind of neat. So I want to definitely do that. So it'll probably be a video per card per like shared experience. And then I'm hoping that those videos will also invite other people to share their experiences. So I'll start with the Fool. I'll share a Fool experience or 2 or 3. And then I'll invite other people to share theirs, either in a video response or in the comments. And being able to move through all of the cards and attach them to actual real lived experience can make the archetypes very real and remind us how relatable they really, really are. Plus, it opens, I think, a platform for some vulnerability and authenticity within the community for those who are comfortable sharing in that way. And, I kind of want to say that I'm an open book. I've always lived my life this way. You can't know me for 5 minutes and not probably learn more about me than you sort of expected to. I like that. I like the relaxation I feel in my body by just being able to be myself. But not everybody can do that. It's not necessarily safe for everybody. It might not be psychologically or emotionally safe. It might not feel safe, or you just might not be able to be in a position in your life where you can be that transparent. And I totally respect that. Not everybody is in that place. I have a hard time turning it off in the first place. So I'm kind of a what you see is what you get person to begin with, especially when I'm not overthinking, which is where the lives come in real handy. Um, and I'm excited to bring some of that into this community. Some of that. I really enjoy watching the realness of people shine through here. Bunny Kisses, I live in the Vancouver area of BC. So I actually grew up in Washington State, and just around the Puget Sound area, the Seattle area, sort of south. Oh my God, people keep saying I'm a natural. Thank you. I don't really know what that means. And I feel like I'm being a big goof, so that's awesome. I'm glad that it comes through and that I'm clear. I think I've sort of managed to train myself not to too much, which is probably a product of teaching and public speaking, but I am a talker. My yoga students know if you want a really quiet yoga class, don't come to mine because I talk a lot, but I think it's good. I really love connecting, and I really love connecting in a real way. So I'm hoping are you kidding me? Are you seriously in BC too? That's amazing. That is awesome. It's such a small world. That is awesome. Look at that. See, they say you attract your tribe. It's like it's just automatic. I know. I was watching, what was the other person? Oh, I was watching Ethany for however long before I realized she was also in Vancouver. I can be stupid shy about some things. Not stupid and shy, just like actually very shy. So that's how I mean it. But yeah, very shy. I love the internet. It's so great. It's so great. That is amazing. There's got to be another way. I'm just trying to figure out the live. There's got to be another way for me to see the chat. And I can't even see who's in here. And I feel like, what if somebody bad popped on? I feel like I'm supposed to be able to make somebody a moderator if I need to, and I have no idea how to do any of that. So this might get a little cray-cray when I start making more live videos. I better figure out how all this works. Stellar Tarot is in Chilliwack. Oh, that's not far at all. I actually had a yoga studio in Maple Ridge for about a year, and I lived out in Maple Ridge. We're now in like the Coquitlam, sort of Burnaby area of the Lower Mainland. I love it here. The cost of living is ridiculous, but I love it here so much. I love having the ocean and the mountains and sort of the desert all within driving distance. I think it's completely magical. And I have to live by the water. But the cost of living here is kind of ridiculous. Just saying. I'm totally spaced out. I'm having such a good time. Okay, I think your sister lived in Maple Ridge years ago. Yeah, we were only there. We were out there while I had the studio for about a year, and then we moved back in here. It was hard though too because our boys don't drive. Well, the one is actually getting his license very soon, but they haven't been driving, and so they're transit dependent. And when we were in Maple Ridge, it just was such an ordeal for them to come visit, and that was a pain because we're pretty close as a family, and we like to see each other pretty regularly. So that was kind of tricky. Where we are now. We're by transit. It's really convenient, and the eldest is driving. Yes, BC, bring cash. So true. Truer words never spoken, for real. But you know what? I would give up a fair amount to stay here. I don't mind that we rent, that we don't own. I am fine with that. I'm over 40. I feel like if I bought anywhere, I'd probably not pay it off before I was ready to retire. And I feel like that's kind of silly. Like I don't want to own property that I can't own. Like I know you own it, I suppose, but to me, property ownership, like you should actually have a point when you actually own it and don't have to keep paying on it. And then otherwise it just feels like a lot of debt, which stresses me out. I own my car, like I actually don't have to pay on it. It's a little cute little car. I am so off the tarot tangent. I can't believe there's actually people in here. It's kind of freaking me out in a good way. I love it so much. I legitimately thought I was going to come on here and babble at you all for a little bit and then just hit the finish button so that I wouldn't have to do the whole uploading and processing and all of that stuff. And so that I could just film something because I was so excited to come home and come on YouTube, which I never thought I would say out loud in a million years, ever. Oh, I totally got distracted. I was going to pull a card for us, and I got that move quickly, and then I got talking about my story. I'm going to pull another card. What's my favorite deck right now? Oh, that's really hard because I make myself rotate so that I get to use them all. Probably I am the most excited to dig back into my Game of Thrones tarot. That deck, I'm going to do a whole video on decks that surprised me, but that deck, I talked myself out of buying it, and then I talked myself back into buying it, and then I talked myself out of buying it. And then somebody on the For Love of Cards Facebook group was talking about how well it shuffled. And I love shuffling. It's like my favorite thing. I literally taught myself to rifle shuffle on my very first tarot deck. I didn't know how before then. So when I heard it shuffled really cool, I pulled the trigger. And I know that sounds so ridiculous. But then when I got it, and I wasn't, I like Game of Thrones, but I wasn't even that excited necessarily about seeing all the characters. I actually thought it was going to be a novelty deck. I thought it was going to be a deck that I pulled out and kind of giggled over and looked at and was like, oh, I've got my Game of Thrones tarot. But that deck is good. Okay, bye, Melissa. I'm just babbling anyways. It's all good. Watch when you want to. Pick the kids up from school. Holy cow, where are you in the world? I just realized it's like my bedtime almost. You must be Europe? I bet you're Europe. You can tell me later. I'm curious. Because that's quite the time difference. Anyway, so Game of Thrones. So when I got it home and started flipping through it, I was like, what? This is it. I mean, it was good, but I was not necessarily super thrilled with, oh, Australia. Got it. Got it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, enjoy your day, and I will see you again later. Sorry, back to Game of Thrones. See, I'm such a squirrel. This is going to be really interesting to watch back later. I flipped through it and I was kind of like, okay, I see a lot of repeating characters, and there were things about it that I thought were going to really bug me. But the second, like I always do a deck interview spread in the beginning when I'm first getting to know a deck. From the second I did a deck interview spread and then actually started to use it for readings, I was completely blown away. That deck talks to me, and I didn't expect it to at all. And it just so happens that I have a wooden box that perfectly fits it and its little adorable hardbound guidebook. So I keep it in a box, in a wooden box. But that's the one I think I'm most excited to come back up in rotation. And I actually have a bit of a method because I'm a nerd, but I have a bit of a method for making sure that I rotate through my decks and do it in a less biased way. So I'll probably talk about that in a video too. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites right now. But I love all of my decks. And nope, not true. I love most of my decks, and I like all of my decks. But I get legitimately excited about a few of them, and that's one of them. Crystal Unicorn Tarot is a recent acquisition for me, and I really adore that one. It's super cute. What else? I have a big collection. I have about, actually I could tell you because I think I've got an inventory on my phone. I think I've got about 35 or 40 tarot decks. And then I've got about 22 or 23 Oracle decks, and 3 or 4 Lenormand, and then a couple random things. Like I have I have Ted Andrews Nature Speak Oracle, which is like almost like little wooden runes. I have Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. But yeah, for just tarot, I think I have about 35-ish. Don't quote me on that. I have a couple Kickstarters pending. Wait, do I have 2? I have Bonestone and Earthflesh on pre-order. So I'm super excited for that one. It needs to come out right now. I can't wait to get my hands on it. That was the coolest process for making a deck. The coolest process. I got so excited. And again, I mostly watched from the sidelines, but I was so excited to watch the way that Anna Turian and Avalon Cameron did that. I thought that was so cool. And I got a little bit, I actually came out of my shell for the end of the creation of that deck, and actually ended up having some input, or felt like I had some input into one of the cards or 2 of the cards, and could not be more thrilled. I I just can't wait to get that deck in my hands. It was the coolest process. I'm going to say that a million times. I don't even care. It was the coolest process. Yeah, 55 to 60 tarot decks and the rest Oracle or other. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm worried about my collection getting too big because I do want to make sure that I rotate my decks weekly, and then I pull specific decks. If I'm reading for clients, then I'll pull based on what feels like the right deck for the question or for the client, or but I really like to rotate them and use them for a solid week myself personally. And I feel like the bigger the collection gets, the harder it'll be to play with everything regularly. I'm kind of the same way with makeup. I really love makeup, and I know that's totally off topic, but I really love makeup, but I don't want to have and I love playing with it, but I don't want to have so much that I can't enjoy what I have. So I try to make sure it's rotatable amount. It has been a long wait for Ball and Stone. I know it's going to be worth it. And there's been a lot going on in Avalon's life. And I know the art it hasn't been that long since the art's been finished. But yeah, it's been a long wait. And that deck is literally the most money I've ever spent on a single deck. The other deck I'm waiting for right now, I'm totally compulsively shuffling. The other deck I'm waiting for right now is the Last Unicorn Tarot. And I am so excited for that one. I'm a huge unicorn fan. I'm a huge Last Unicorn fan and a huge tarot fan, obviously. So I'm really excited for that to come out. That was my favorite childhood movie. And when they're doing it right, I think, I hope. I had a little bit of a spiff. I had a little bit of a moment when I saw the lovers card that they were releasing, because it was a scene from the movie that was very non-consensual in nature, and I had a bit of a moment, had given a bit of feedback, and I wasn't the only one. There was quite a few tarot readers that gave some serious feedback about that lovers card, and they ended up making an alternative lovers card, I believe, but they won't show us what it is. I'm just waiting to see. I've sold lots that I don't resonate with anymore, plus learning what I like. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I had a deck collection years ago, like shortly after I stopped, when I was ready to branch out from the Osho Zen Tarot, and I started getting some other decks. I got some decks that just sat. And I hit a point where I was like, you know what? I only really reach for the Osho Zen still. This was some time ago. And I decluttered a whole bunch of them. Like I decluttered most of them. I think I kept like 3 plus my soul cards. And one of them was the Mystic Fairy Tarot. I think that was one of my older decks. It is Mystic Fairy. My Brian Froud Fairies Oracles. Those ones I kept, but I decluttered most of the rest. There was a lot of computer generated artwork, which I've come to learn I just am not a huge fan of, or anything where it looks like, if I can tell that like an item in the deck has been copied and pasted on the image, like it's the exact same cup with the exact same shadowing, that really gets to me. I got the Mythic Tarot, the new one, and it had that element in the cups and the wands with the flames. They were all like identical, and it literally looked like somebody was in Photoshop and like plunked this image out and put it like multiple times. Really got to me. So I actually have a copy of the new Mythic, brand new, that I'll probably, well, opened, but brand new, that I'll probably do in a giveaway or something if anybody's interested down the road. But speaking of costly decks, the most I spent was $130 on the Victorian Romantic. I wanted to love that deck so bad, and I keep saying that about different decks, that they don't resonate, and then I get them, or I want them later. But so far, I have looked at walkthrough after walkthrough of Victorian Romantic, and it's beautiful, like it's aesthetically beautiful, but it's not my style, I don't think at all. But I did get to snag the what do you call it? The seconds of that short batch of the Fairy Tale Tarot that came out. So that's my newest, one of my newest. And I'm really excited about that one. I've been reading the book so I can get to know all the fairy tales. So that's one of the books that I just keep out, and I read a fairy tale every day or two, so I can hopefully get to know them, because a lot of the stories are unfamiliar to me, so I'm learning them. So I did get a Baba deck, but that was the one. Like I knew that was going to be the one. If I ever had a chance to buy it, that would be the one I would want. And I'm also keeping my eye out for a color version of the fantastical creatures, or they've got an animal one, like a mythological animal one that they've done in black and white or in monochrome. And they're supposed to be doing a color version at some point, and I would definitely scoop that up. I think their decks are really expensive. And the card quality is different. It's definitely thinner than I was expecting, and I kind of knew that that was what I was going to get because I've seen some reviews and people have talked about the cardstock, but man, even, and I know, and I feel kind of bad actually in a way because the Fairy Tale Tarot, you know, I told Karen in for Love of Cards, I was so excited to snag it. But I know that that wasn't their art, and I do actually like their art. It's just something about it. It doesn't talk to me, at least not yet. Yeah, you resisted it for a while. I think if I had it, I'd probably fall in love with it, but like I'm not going to try that hard because it's so expensive. Well, durable. Okay, so that's what I think too. Like I felt that way when I first was shuffling the Fairy Tale Tarot. I felt like that was going to be, I felt like it was going to hold up even though it felt really thin. Yeah, like flexible. Maybe that's what it is. It feels kind of flexible. Yeah. I'm so excited that you came on here. So I was all by myself. I probably stayed on way longer than I would have otherwise. I'm going to pull another card. I'm going to pull a card for tomorrow. I'll pull it right now. Why not? Because I keep shuffling it and it's probably a really annoying sound. I don't know. I love shuffle sounds. Drives my son nuts. He like totally like twitches when I shuffle randomly in the living room, watching TV or whatever, just like randomly shuffling a tarot deck. Drives me crazy. So try not to do it too much. Oh, it has a core. Is that what it is? I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to pull my card for tomorrow. Let's see what I get. If I get that same card again, I'm going to freak out. Maybe not. Sometimes divination is like really sassy, you know? Sometimes the tarot is sassy. Sometimes oracles are sassy. Oh, that reminds me of a story. Okay, I'll have to tell that another time. All right. Let's see. Oh, I gotta open up my preview so I can actually hold this up properly. Or it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to see it. There we go. So the text on it is really small. I don't even know if you can see the title text. It looks beautiful in person. I think my lighting is making it look a little washed out, to be honest. This card says, down at the bottom here, it says, change your environment. Feels like an exhale. Feels like an exhale. It says, our environments, I want to make sure I can see the chat. There we go. Veronica Judah's here? Ah, oh my gosh. That's okay. I'm so glad you were listening. It's my bedtime too. I need to like shut down soon. Okay, so change your environment. Our environments support or undermine us. Give more attention to where you live, work, and play. Create surroundings that support you. That's what I'm doing on YouTube. That's what I'm doing on YouTube. I'm totally creating, I feel like I'm manifesting exactly the community I need in my life, the outlet I need in my life to connect with people that are real. So shitty cardstock is just varying thickness of good or better paper, but the good stuff has a layer in between. I legitimately did not know that. Huh. That kind of makes sense though, because my soul cards, like I'll have to pull them out. I know I showed the images in a previous video, but they are 20 years old, like 20 plus years old. Same with my Osho Zen. But the cardstock of my soul cards is very flexible. And because I've had it so long and it's so well worn, it like I can pick up a card and like practically roll it in a tube. Like it's so soft, but I have not had a single card tear or a corner bend. I don't know if that's the lamination or if it has one of those cores, but it's held up really, really well. It's soft. It's like, I just looked at my preview window and I seriously talk with my hands, especially apparently on live. I'm a fidgeter and I talk with my hands. So I'm just going to wave my hands at you all the time. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm just noticing it. I'm just noticing it and owning it. Yeah, cool. I think I just put my card of the day away and I need to put it on my altar. I did. I totally did. I'm going to have to fish it out now. I like to pull it and then keep it out for myself. Now I need to find it. I totally shuffled it in compulsively. I want that one. That was the environment one. Okay. The good news is if I totally forgot, which I don't think I did, I can rewatch my own live video and remind myself. Oh, somebody else is here too. Ocean Song. Hi, Ocean Song. Thank you guys for saying hi and for actually being here and being real people in my chat. That's so awesome. I keep saying it, but I totally thought I was just going to be basically recording, but using the live so that I didn't have to upload. Because lazy and because sleepy. Monday nights I teach a yoga class that's just a little bit away from home. And I think I see it. There it is. Yes. Change your environment. I found it. I teach a yoga class on Monday nights and I teach 2 yoga classes on Friday nights. And I'm kind of toying with the idea of figuring out maybe a time where I can come on here and chit chat with people about stuff. But I feel like I want to know. I lost the guidebook. Look what happened. I lost the guide. I legitimately have no idea where I put it. Such a squirrel. Such a squirrel. All right. It looks like I'm like looking at my lap. It's because I really am. Like I'm sitting cross-legged on my bed, which I will totally have to show you. You can't see it in this video very well, but I will seriously have to show you the quilt that my wife made me for my birthday this year. I have no idea where the guidebook went to this deck. I lost it, you guys. I lost it. I lost it. It's because I was playing with things. I'm so excited there's even people here. I don't even want to say goodbye. Okay, I better do it though. I better go to bed. My bedtime is like officially 10 o'clock and it's 10:06. And I thought I was going to be on here for like 15 minutes. And then real people were here and I got all excited. And now I won't stop talking. So I'm going to try and film a couple times a week, hopefully. And I'll maybe see if I can squeeze myself in somewhere live chat wise if enough people are interested in live chatting. We'll see. I might wait till subscriber numbers build up a bit so that more people know that I'm live chatting or something. We will see. I can hear my dog's tail thumping on the door again. She's seriously irritated that I closed the door. All right. I think I'm actually blushing because I'm so excited about all of this. I'm glad you caught me too. Oh, both doggies. Peggy let him in. Hold on. Shayla, come say hi. Come say hi. Are you gonna let me pick you up? Probably not because you're a princess. Let's see if I can see her on the preview. Can you see her? She's got the best. Oh, no. She's like, no, don't pick me up. Don't pick me up. Look at these ears, though. Can you see her? She is on there. Yeah, she's got the biggest ears. I'm so glad you caught me too, Veronica Jude. I was totally watching your channel earlier today, catching up on older videos. Okay. I really do have to say goodnight. You subscribed? Oh, good. More subscribers. That's so awesome. I literally thought I was going to have 2. And I have like 40, and I'm super stoked. Oh, they're going to get a treat. Hold on. Puppies are getting a treat. Did they get them already?
Behind you.
Were they staging a protest because they hadn't got their green beans yet? That was Peggy. Oh, I can see you on replay because there's a delay on the camera.
I'm leaving now.
Bye. All right. I really should say goodnight. Now they want back out again. Silly dogs. This is going to be the goofiest video on my channel, and it's only the 3rd video. This is awesome. All right, you guys, I better actually turn this thing off. They're so adorable. I love my dogs. All right, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it off, or I never will. He's back. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you again on a video very, very soon. All right, bye.